Good, happy Thursday evening, October 22nd, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Thursday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with your COVID-19 updates. Coronavirus in New Hampshire, important information. Latest graphs. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that for all of you right now. There are 9,994 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 8,386,634 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 470 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 765 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 766 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. In Manchester, 98. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 2316. Now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, let's take a look at daily new positive COVID-19 cases in the purple, new hospitalizations in the orange, and red deaths. And those are new cases each day in New Hampshire. And now let's take a look at this chart here, current cases in the purple, total current COVID-19 cases, and in the orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalization, red deaths, and blue recovered. And those are total cases. And now let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate and daily PCR test. And let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. 82 new COVID-19 cases reported in New Hampshire, though positivity rate remains low. There have been 9,994 known coronavirus cases in New Hampshire, officials say. New Hampshire health officials announced 82 new COVID-19 cases in the state Thursday, along with one more death and 2 new hospitalizations. While the number of cases announced daily has remained high in the past few weeks, state epidemiologist Dr. Benjamin Chan said the state's positivity rate has remained low, around 1%. Chan said the state is testing at a much higher level than before and capturing more infections. He said there are 832 current cases of COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and there have been 9,994 over the course of the pandemic. The most recent death was a person associated with a long-term care facility, Chan said. There have been 470 deaths associated with COVID-19 over the course of the pandemic. 18 people are currently hospitalized in the state for COVID-19. Chan said that number has been relatively stable over the past few weeks. Chan urged Granite staters to continue taking precautions, such as wearing masks and maintaining distancing to help slow the spread of COVID-19. He also said people should get vaccinated for the flu because lower rates of flu transmission will help reduce stress on testing in hospital systems over the coming season. Mobile test lab helps detect COVID-19 at UNH satellite campuses. Quick tests can determine if more robust tests needed. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
Now is the time to add another Chevy to your driveway at Bentley Chevrolet. Buy a new 2020 Chevy Silverado 4x4 LT Double Cab All-Star Edition pickup, nicely equipped, just $38,492.
One-stop shop for everything you need to bring a full lab out into the field.
Or, in the case of UNH Manchester, augment current lab capabilities. It takes 30 minutes to get the results.
Because it's so quick, we're able to survey the whole community fairly quickly so that anybody who is asymptomatic, we might be able to catch, and they can isolate so that we don't have further spread.
The test involves a nasal swab, which is then combined with the liquid and placed in a heater. A positive sample turns yellow.
It's a fully molecular test. It's looking for active RNA strands of COVID-19. So if this picks it up, you have it active in your body.
To be considered diagnostic, the test should be used in a moderate or high complexity lab, administered by a medical professional. But at UNH Manchester, it's a first line of defense.
Students, faculty, and staff are self-swabbing. They were instructed how to do the self-swab, and then they deposit their sample in.
If the sample is yellow, then the person undergoes a swab by a medical professional, and that sample is sent off to Durham. Another advantage of the system is a mobile app. It's able to scan the results and then generates a report that can immediately be sent off to those who need to know. Currently, there are plans in the work to expand the testing this spring. That'll mean running about 10,000 tests a week. In Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Drought conditions improve in New Hampshire after 2 recent bouts of rain. 2 rainy systems brought at least 2 to 3 inches of rain to many parts of the state. The drought situation has improved across most of the state, according to the latest report, but a third of the state continues to experience severe or extreme drought conditions. According to the U.S. Drought Monitor's report released Thursday morning, 16.73% of the state remains in extreme drought, down from the 21.99% figure from last week. The area includes parts of Belknap, Hillsborough, Merrimack, Rockingham, and Strafford counties across most southeastern New Hampshire. The severe drought area, meanwhile, continues to shrink. Just 16.5% of the state is considered to be in severe drought, down from 53.12%, which was reported last week. Affected areas include the Lakes region and a strip through southeastern New Hampshire that surrounds the extreme drought area. The rest of the state, including the North Country, the White Mountains, the western half of the state, and a small area in southeastern New Hampshire at the border of Massachusetts, is now in moderate drought. A sliver of western Sullivan County has seen drought conditions improve to the point where the area is considered predominantly dry. Precipitation exceeding 2 inches fell over the most of New England this week, following a wet end to the previous week. Those improve short and long-term precipitation defects there. As a result, drought intensity in coverage lessened over much of New England. Curtis Rignant of the National Drought Migration Center wrote in the report. State officials lifted the ban on certain fires in light of the recent rainfall, but cautioned that wildfire danger is still something to be taken seriously. This is the worst drought in New Hampshire since 2016, when several areas of the state experienced an extreme drought from August through December. New Hampshire wasn't out of that drought altogether until May of 2017. New England is the only area east of Mississippi River that is seeing extreme drought conditions. Live at 7 p.m. tonight, Rep. Custer and challenger Negron to face off in final Granite State debate. Custer has held office since winning since 2012. Negron seeking to unseat Custer in rematch. Let's take a look at this video from WMUR, a preview.
Chevy to your driveway at Bentley Chevrolet. Buy a new 2020 Chevy Silverado 4x4 LT Double Cab All-Star Edition pickup, nicely equipped, just $38,492.
It's the final night of the Granite State debates. Tonight, the top candidates in the 2nd Congressional District. Tough questions, the biggest topics. Your last chance to see them face off. WMUR's team of journalists. Commitment 2020, the Granite State debates. In partnership with the New Hampshire Institute of Politics, the race in the 2nd Congressional District. Tonight at 7 on WMUR. Sponsored by Dartmouth Hitchcock Health. We care, we vote.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching this evening edition. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and goodbye, everyone.